let's talk about Connor Bedard, who had himself a great weekend in Florida. 4-point game against the Tampa Bay Lightning, scores 2 goals against the Florida Panthers yesterday, including a short side goal, top shelf, or top bins, as some people might say. In any case, it's where mama hides the cookies. It's a sweet goal, and then he goes to the boards, he stares down the Florida crowd, and just gives this mean stare. And that glance, that look, that is what's going to save the National Hockey League. That's the personality that we need. Mark, what did you think of Connor Bedard's big weekend in Florida?
It was awfully impressive. I mean, he's been really good since jump. He had like maybe one bad game in Denver where everyone just crapped the bed on the Blackhawks, but he has been creating all these chances. But this weekend was different because not only did he get 4 goals and 2 assists in 2 games, but he did against 2 very good teams, obviously, in Tampa Bay and Florida on the road. What he really did was the way he was doing it by himself almost. Like his first handful of goals this year were all, I'm open and in space, feed me the puck. I'm going to use my phenomenal shot to just beat a goalie straight up, which we know he could do. He came into the NHL with maybe the second best shot in the league after Austin Matthews. He was ready-made in that. But all 4 of these goals were him attacking this weekend. He muscled aside Victor Hedman, who is, I think it was 9 inches and 61 pounds heavier than him, to get a goal on the inside after on the forecheck, and then creates a play, and then he boxes out Victor Hedman. The second one, he stripped Nikita Kucherov at center ice to spring a 2-on-1 with this ridiculous little backhand, and then finish it off up close with a nice little forehand backhand move. And then, God, yesterday in Florida, the first goal where he stripped, I think it was Stenlund, he didn't even stick handle. He lifted Stenlund's stick, who's another big dude, 6'4" dude, lifted his stick, kicked the puck to get control of it, and then one-timed it off his foot into like a ridiculous angle from along the goal line over Bobrovsky's head. Ridiculous goal. And then his last goal was another one where he just pounced on the puck and then just dives in on net. Like, these were not, puck movement goals. These were not, I'm wide open in space, I'm going to beat you goals. These were creation goals. He was attacking. He was aggressive. He was assertive. He was just completely taking over. And that look he gave the fans in Florida, that's his attitude, man. Like, it's not, I mean, I guess he's cocky, if you want to call it cocky, but what's wrong with that? He knows how good he is. Like, when I've been covering him for 6-7 weeks now. And whenever you ask him something and you even hint at the fact that he might be struggling at something, he comes at you. Like, he's like, no, that's not true. I early on in the season, we were in Denver. And before that game, I said, are you shooting from too far out? You're shooting from twice as far. I was looking at the numbers. You're shooting from twice as far out as Austin Matthews is. And that's why he's got all these goals. And he looks at me and goes, I've got a pretty good shot. Like, this kid knows how good he is. I think it's great. Like, the NHL could use it. Like, he's not being a dick about it. He's just confident. He believes in himself. He's an 18-year-old who knows he's already one of the best players in the world. How cool is that?
But Mark, I mean, he's making it all about himself with that celebration. He's being cocky. He's being too over the top. What is this? We can't have our future superstar do that.
Look, stop reading the comment section from my column and listen to me. Yeah, he scored a goal the other last week, and he did the Patrick Kane celebration. Went down on one knee, and it was like shaking his fist. Like, this kid's having a blast out there. What's so bad about that? Like, he kind of like, this was the weekend where he became fully formed as an NHL player, and he knows it, and it probably feels awesome. Good for him. It's not like he was flipping off the fans. He was staring them down. Like, what? What are you going to do about it? It's great.
That must be so cool to have the ability of an incredible just athlete in any sport, and to score and to look at a crowd, and especially if it's a visiting crowd, be like, what now? You stretch out your arms and you look up at everyone. You're like, what now? What are you going to do? You can't do anything about it. Like, look, I would kill to have that moment.
Even if you're playing pickup basketball, it's always more fun to not celebrate than celebrate. When you hit like a badass shot and you just walk away and you just stare at them, that's always more satisfying than like pumping your fist and high-fiving and chest bumping. No, you just like nothing.
Oh,
I just sank an 80-foot putt, drop the putter and leave. That's the way to do it.
I did that this summer. I scored a goal, and then I just walked off, and just other people coming at me trying to celebrate. I'm just walking. I was just like, this is the most badass I've ever felt in my life. It's crazy.
When Matthew Tkachuk in the playoffs last year, he kept scoring walk-offs and just ran off the ice. He went straight down the tunnel. That's the best. Who doesn't love that?
I don't know, man. Look, we need to change the way that we view celebrations in this league. And I think that goes down to players, that goes down to fans. Like, let these guys celebrate. Let them do their thing. And for a guy like Connor Bedard, yeah, go ahead.
No, what Cricket, a commenter just said on the YouTube feed. Love seeing the cockiness. He's humble off ice all the time, so let him be that way on the ice. Exactly. He says when we interview him, he's calm, he's humble, he's playing it down, not that big a deal. But when he's on the ice, that's when he's got to be superhuman. That's when you have to believe, you have to be cocky, you have to be arrogant, you have to be defiant. You know, he's humble and calm and polite and nice all the time off the ice, saying all the right things. But when he's out there in the heat of battle, let him be an asshole. It's more fun that way.
I also like your point about about this past stretch of games, this is where he truly gets to realize being this not fully formed. He still has years ahead of him, but in terms of being a hockey player, in terms of being this top level player, like I don't even think it's a dare to say it. He's elite. Connor Bedard is an elite player, and it's only taken him a matter of weeks for him to get his footing in and be the face of this team. Like, that is super special to watch.
Well, it's funny because, a bunch of, the Blackhawks, Tyler Johnson said this and Luke Richardson said this, like, he's starting to figure out the league. It's been a month. You're not supposed to figure Arthur Staples coming on in a little bit. We're going to talk about Alexis Lafreniere. He did not figure out the league in a month. He's like in year 4 and he's just starting to figure out the league. That's how it's supposed to work. Jack Hughes is one of the greatest players in the world right now. He didn't figure it out in a month. Connor McDavid kind of figured it out in a month. Sidney Crosby figured it out in a month. Very few of these guys do this, though, where a month in, they can just take over a game like that.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm looking for – I mean, every time we have you on the show, obviously because you cover the team, it feels like Connor Bedard's doing something cool. So I'm looking forward to that next – I'm looking forward to that next time we get to talk about something even more amazing.
That's my dilemma, though, is like I wrote a column off yesterday's game kind of already joking about this, that what the hell else am I supposed to write about? Like I can't write about Lucas Reichel right now. I can't write about, the power play sucking or the penalty. It's Connor Bedard. It's only Connor Bedard. He is the dominant story, and he's going to be for so long now. Like, I used to joke about how many times can I write a Patrick Kane or a Jonathan Toews feature. At least I wasn't in on the ground floor on them. They were already superstars by the time I started covering this team in 2013. I mean, with Bedard, I'm already running out of things to say. Like, he's just there's just only so many superlatives you can throw out there.
From I can't believe this is the YouTube username here. When the edibles kick in, how is Bedard doing off the ice? He is still a kid.
He is. He's 18. I mean, he's a young 18 too. He just turned 18 like late in the summer. He's doing fine. He seems he's got a lot of support around him, and there's veterans on the team, Corey Perry and Nick Foligno, really taking him under their wing. He's just kind of going about his business. He says he's starting to cook a little bit, like he's starting to learn how to cook, and he's having a little more fun with that. He just had the mom's trip, so he got to have his mom back for a little while there. He lives in the same building as Luke Richardson, so I'm sure when he needs help, he can get it. He's doing fine. He just lives the guy. Kyle Davidson used the term, he's obsessed with greatness when they drafted him. And you can see that he doesn't do anything other than hockey. Nick Foligno says he doesn't play video games. How many 18-year-olds do you know that don't play video games that can afford them? And trust me, he can afford them. Mm-hmm. He's on the ice for an hour after every practice, just working on his shot, just screwing around. This is all he wants to do. Like the grind of the NHL. I wrote about this a couple of weeks ago, and I finally got a chance to talk to him one-on-one for a little bit. It's not going to bother him. He lives this. He wants this. This is all he wants to do. He is singularly minded the way that all the great players are. And, it doesn't matter what happens off the ice because all he's thinking about is on the ice.
And then I wonder what it would be like trying to go up to Connor Bedard and be like, hey, what TV shows do you watch? I mean, already he's young enough. He's not going to get any like Simpsons reference, but like, especially in his case, because he's so focused on being this super dominant hockey player. There's no way in hell he knows anything about the Lisa on Ice episode.
Yeah, it's just all hockey. I picture him on the ice going, okay, goalie, I'm just going to hold the puck like this. And if that puck happens to go past you, it's your own fault. There's nothing you can do to stop him when he's got a shot like that. It's just happening.